Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of What It Means to Be a Writer. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about writing prompts. We dropped a line about them in the last episode. And when I say we, I mean me. I dropped a line about them in the last episode. So I thought it would be a good idea to go over them in their own episode with a little bit more detail. But before we get into that, my disclaimer. Everything that I'm about to say in this episode is based on personal research and opinion. I do not speak for others, only myself, unless I'm at a restaurant and I'm ordering food for my husband because, frankly, he orders too much food all of the time, and I'm clearly a controlling person. Though, if you were married to a man that eats butter sandwiches, you would be controlling too, because I love him and I don't want him to die from butter consumption. Agree with me or don't, but I think that there have been enough cholesterol studies to show that I am way past the green line of correctness on this one. Okay, so anyway, writing prompts. This is a tool that every writer should have in their arsenal. I didn't really understand the benefit of writing prompts until I participated in a couple of writing groups, because I was like, ideas? You mean writers should have ideas? But writing prompts and ideas are not the same thing, for starters. Okay, an idea is something that you have and you want to write about, whether it's going to be a story idea or a concept or just a really good idea about something. Ideas usually have direction or are complete in a way and just need to be fleshed out. Writing prompts are just sentences or a word or a suggestion. Also, the most important part about writing prompts is that you don't know what to write ever. They're just random words that someone says, and then you have to create a story around them. They're an exercise. It's really hard. That's the point of a writing prompt, though. It's supposed to be hard, and you don't know what to write about, and maybe 70% of what you write is probably just going to be complete and total garbage. Even if you stumble upon a good idea, you're probably just going to keep that idea that you got from the writing prompt, and then you're going to like get rid of the rest of it because it wasn't very good. Just the idea was. Anyway, it goes back to discipline though. It teaches you to write even when you have no idea what to write about. And that's the skill that you're developing and strengthening. That there are a few ways to do, which we've been discussing. Anyway, going about writing prompts can actually be really fun. One of my old writing teachers used to pull names out of the phone book. So in class as a group, we would all select a name and then she would write it on the board. And then you would pick two of the names, a first name and a last name. And then you'd have like 10 minutes to write a story about the person whose name you just selected. And honestly, this was a blast. I loved it. You did not have to include the person's name in the story. You just had to write about the person. And it's a good character development exercise, basically, especially if you don't end up using the name because you're trying to build a three-dimensional character that walks all on its own as a person in just a matter of minutes. And it's a real benefit to you as a writer because the more you do it, like the better you're going to get at it. And then you can write short stories where your characters are just popping off the page. It's really, really good. Another way to do writing prompts is to just get a phrase or an object and write a little bit about that, or you know, whatever the phrase or object inspires you. So you guys have been seeing my writing prompt videos on this channel, and that's all I'm doing. I'm taking like a phrase, an object, a word, and then I'm writing a little bit about that thing. And maybe like I'm not writing about the object itself, but how the object makes me feel or whatever just like pops into my head when I say the object. Yeah. So they usually suck, but it's about the act of writing and they don't have to be good. And that's one of the best things about writing prompts is they don't have to be good. The more I do it, the better I'm going to get, whether the writing is good or not, because I'm being able to like exercise that. Yeah, it's all for the important part is discipline. You're becoming disciplined in your trade, in your craft. So one of my favorite writing prompt styles though is to listen to music, which I don't put on this channel because of copyright, but you get to pick a song that inspires you and you write based on the song. I get so many story ideas when I'm listening to music. Some great, some not so great. I personally love music and I'm easily inspired by music. So for me, this is a great way to instigate a writing prompt. Um, I'm actually like, the Lumineers, Cleopatra. I'm writing a short story that was inspired by that because that song is just like so powerful and influences me. Like, oh, I love it. Anyway, when I finish it, I'll have to post it on my Patreon for you guys. But anyway, um, so these are just some of the writing prompt methods that exist out there. Generally, just like in our last episode, you already have your time frame set and or your word count, whatever, and you pick your writing prompt and you go from there. It doesn't have to be the best thing that you've ever written. It's about strengthening your skills as a writer. Get out there and put the words on paper over and over and over again. By doing that, you're teaching your brain to focus and your body to concentrate on what you're trying to achieve. Um, and this is just a really good tool to help you with that. On top of having the strength and discipline, you also have a handful of writing shorts that you can turn into bigger works. So if you do ever like run out of ideas and you don't know what to write about, you can grab an old prompt and turn it into a full-fledged story, a novella, a book, what have you. I have a couple writing prompts that I turned into much larger works. The original prompt sucked, but the idea that came from it, that was worth it to me to revisit. It turned into a great story. It was fun to write, and it was one of the works that I am most proud of, actually. Yeah. So you have no idea what you can create, and along the way, you're building your brain and your body towards being a better writer. Okay, so yeah, get out there, do your writing prompts. And yeah, don't delete them. Keep them because they're good to pull from at a later date. So, see you guys next week. Until then, take care.